Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's event on Moodle admin training. We're going to get started on time. Thank you for coming on time, and I'm glad you're here in the Zoom meeting, or if you're watching the recording, I'm glad you're here as well, or if you're in the live streaming, welcome. If you have any questions, feel free to add them wherever you happen to be. If you're in the course, of course, you'll be using the support forums. So we're going to get started. Today, I'm going to be hopefully talking less, and you'll have a chance to try things out live. That's what I promised last week. So we are starting. So there's just a little bit about me for those that need a reminder. I started using Moodle as admin and teacher in 2003. Many years ago, and it has been an amazing journey. And I hope it will be the same for you and is. I want to remind you that there are a lot of beautiful things around, and we can appreciate them when they're in nature. But when we need to do anything, we don't need to compare our work with somebody else's work. The idea is to focus on the task and do whatever you can, which is perfect, and not worry about any other kind of perfection. So this is just a reminder that you don't have to be an artist to do this work. And this is week 3. Now, week 3 is a little less, I think, difficult to manage because we will be focusing on the grading as well as reports and course and part of reporting for courses, which isn't as complicated. Hopefully, you'll always get a chance to ask me or ask ChatGPT, or of course, collaborate with the other participants. Watch their videos and ask them questions as well. So these are the work that you'll be working on. Plugins for admin is quite exciting. And I think that that's probably, let me go back here, that's probably the most exciting part, installing plugins, especially the ones that are compatible. So you'll get a chance this week to access Moodle's plugin directory and set it for, of course, Moodle 5. And I'll show you what you will be doing. You will not be lost because it's going to be very, very organized at the beginning so that everyone gets a chance to install a plugin, and you don't need to stop the plugins, delete the plugins. You will be leaving the plugins in. So no need to delete anything or uninstall anything. We'll also be working with sticky notes as an assignment. You'll be creating questions like you've been doing so far, and you'll also be inputting the plugins that you will be using and exploring in a checklist activity, and you'll have full rights. So these are the activities for week 3. There's the presentation slides that I'm showing right now, and all these are clickable when you have the presentation, which is available. Questions about the section that you've done before, asking ChatGPT for questions and getting responses and sharing those. Video tutorial 1 is the plugins checklist, what I mentioned before, sticky notes. Video tutorial 2, you'll be purging, because purge is a very important aspect of installing plugins or anything, because sometimes things don't show up and the purge usually works. Those of you who haven't done the Gravatar can continue doing that. You'll be looking at appearance and adding themes and changing the site so that it has another theme. Right now, it's the core theme, which is Boost. There are two core themes. One is the class and the other one is Boost. And Boost is much better. And then there's the support form. So let's start with where you go. And you can start it right now by going into a search engine on your browser, probably Google, unless you're using another search engine. And then you go in, you just write in the search engine, you write Moodle plugins. That's enough to get you so that you see this, Moodle plugins. If anyone finds the link, you can add it in the chat box to make it easier for others so they don't have to search for it. But that's how I always look for it. You know, I never store any kind of links, URLs. Usually just search for them and that works perfectly fine. You can also ask ChatGPT for it, for the Moodle plugins directory. Once you get that, notice the arrows here. The one on the left is the search. But before you get to the search, make sure that you have the right arrow, which is Moodle 5. We'll be working with Moodle 5. On your site, it'll depend on what version of Moodle you have, but on NEP, you'll be using Moodle 5. And then you go into the search and into the plugins. There are various plugins to help you out so that the search becomes more meaningful. So that's the first step. Feel free to add to the chat. I'm looking, oh, thank you for adding that, Robin. Great, perfect. Now you need to have an account on Moodle.org. So if you don't have an account when you go into the plugins, then all you need to do actually is go to the right at the top and you'll be able to log in. Let's continue. So this is what you should see. Next is the following. You are going to install, but wait, hold on. We'll get to that. But just to show you that there are two options of installing. One is to install plugins from a Moodle plugins directory. And the other one is to upload it to your computer and then simply drag and drop. And then you don't need to go into show more, ignore that. Just go into number 3 and install. That's probably the best way because sometimes they are corrupt and there are problems. So that's the best way of doing it. And then you can, of course, delete it from your computer. It doesn't take any room because it's a zipped file. So Moodle doesn't take anything. Next, exciting, we're going to be looking at appearance. You're going to add a logo to the site. And Canva has a free logo creator. The link is here. If you go into search engine and you write Canva free logo creator, you will get the link as well. And if you wish to add that in the chat, that's fine. So there it is. You will create a video tutorial as you explore and add the logos to NEP using one of the screen recorders. You will find logos under appearance. So you go into appearance when in the admin. And then this time, please delete the logos because there's only one logo that's possible at a time. After you create your video so others can do it. So create a logo, create your video, and then simply delete the logo, remove it. Next, this is how you drag and drop the logos. And this is what you will see when in the admin. I prefer the drag and drop. Notice the image accepted file types. There's JPEG and PNG. PNG is the lightest. But if you're not sure, ask ChatGPT what the best one is for Moodle 5. And then you also add compact logo. It's not just one logo, it's the main logo. You add actually 3 logos. Same one, you don't change it, but they have different purposes and they are different sizes. The third one is a favicon. I don't know if you're familiar with favicons. If you are, please tell us, but if not, you can always ask ChatGPT. What is a favicon? Well, first of all, favicons are tiny images, but you don't, if they're generated by a system, and there are many free systems. I will share one with you. You don't pay for it. They're all free. Well, some are not, but you look for a free one. And notice what the accepted files are. I usually go for ICO. That's the standard favicon. The favicon is what you see on the left side of a domain of a website. On the left top side, next to the search, the browser, you will find that there. And it makes it look a lot better when there's a favicon. Otherwise, it could be Moodle, it could be a ghost, just something there. That's right, on the left side. Thank you for that. And notice here, this is, I don't know if you know Cloud Convert. It's free, but you can also pay, but the free version is fine. This is where you convert your image when it's in PNG to ICO, which is, as I said, the standard favicon. You simply, but you need to log in, okay? Otherwise, it doesn't work as well. So get an account on Cloud Convert. Cloud Convert is great because you can convert anything to anything, and I mean anything. So try it. I think you'll like it. I've been using it for many, many years. Used to be completely free, but now they charge for some. And the video tutorials, of course, we're going to go through them. Still Canva. And Wondershare. Wondershare is wonderful. I don't know if someone asked here, if you want the yellow icon to move around wherever you go, that's Wondershare Demo Creator. It doesn't exist in Canva unless you have something on your computer. And these are the two videos. I'm not going to go through them. But if you don't want to use those, there are others that you can use. Okay, there are always alternatives. I know that some of you use Camtasia. I use Camtasia. I used to use Screen Pal, but I still have it, but I don't really use it. You get used to one and you stick to it. You can also use Snagit if that's what you like. So you're free to use whatever works for you. The only thing is, if you want something long, a long video, you may have to opt for Canva or Wondershare. That was the reason that I shared that. And then I want to remind you to please embed, and this is for your students as well, embed everything that you can, because you can't everything, not with Generico, or not everything is embeddable, but if you can, embed. And there are two ways of embedding. Sometimes if it's a large site or something large, you might want to hyperlink the word. So you add the item, the words, the text at the top, and then the link at the bottom, and then insert. If you want to use the HTML code, that's fine. But please remember to go into Tools in your TinyMC editor and into Source Code. And then if you're embedding, there are two videos here on how to embed using Google Drive. The best for these tutorials, especially if there are emails, is not to use YouTube, because if there's going to be an email in the video, make sure you do not upload it to YouTube. Make sure that you use Google Drive. Otherwise, YouTube simply removes it without saying anything and calls you a bully, in not so many words, but actually accuses you of being a horrible person. And then there's another video here on how to create Google Drive videos, how to upload the MP4. Or if you're actually, if it's an audio, it's the same system or any other PTA files. And then again, the three places, I think for our purposes, unless you have another reason and you want to add these to your YouTube channel or Vimeo channel is to use Google Drive for the videos. Just going to go through very quickly some best practices before we go into the hands-on part of this event. And that is good news. Last week, I mentioned technology is not perfect. Well, it's not perfect because what happened with the upgrade and move was that I had to tell the developer of Move, which is a theme for Moodle that I really like, to fix a bug. Well, there were two bugs. One bug was in the profile because the image did not appear. I don't know if you noticed that. And another one was the breadcrumbs that I had added, but they didn't appear. So I asked him to fix that, and he did, but it took a few weeks, and I was kind of frustrated, but I think I mentioned it to you. But now that the breadcrumbs are there, notice in the box, that's the breadcrumb. You can go from where we are, let's get acquainted, to the introduction by just going through the breadcrumbs until you get to the main course, which is Moodle MOOC, admin of a Moodle site. And there's no need for all the work that I did to get around this. Okay, so that's good news. Another best practice is to remind you that not to be afraid. Okay, I've watched your videos. Yeah, I couldn't live without breadcrumbs. I love your videos, and they show me how passionate you are about the work, and it's really very, very empowering for me as someone who supports you. So tick off. Now the tick off, and you notice there are a lot of ticks. Some of them are ticked off, not by me. They were ticked off by the system. That's how the Moodle came. And I want to remind you that the Moodle you're using is a raw Moodle. I didn't add anything to it. That's how it came. We started with a gravatar to make some changes, but actually the yes ticks are ticked automatically by the system, and the no ones are not, just the yes. So tick away, tick off, and see what happens, but leave the default as they are. You might want to change some no's and see what you get, which is important. You want to try things out. So don't be afraid to try things out. Go into the three dots or the settings and see what's there. Explore the settings. Very important. And if you're not sure of what's in the settings, you don't understand, ask ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT offers me all the information that I need. I get everything from ChatGPT. I troubleshoot with ChatGPT. ChatGPT has provided me with codes to add to Moodle. It has solved most of my problems. I don't have to pay anyone, a developer, to resolve my issues. So try it, but you have to be specific. You have to tell ChatGPT in your prompt that you're using Moodle 5, that you are the admin, that you're interested in the admin console. It's really important, otherwise it'll give you information that's not really relevant. But the information is accurate. So ask away and keep asking. Whatever it gives you, just keep asking questions to know more and more. And that's my motto. Keep asking questions. All right, so we're going to start. I believe you all have audio and you can speak. Please unmute yourself and try it out by saying hello.
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 Hello, Doc. Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm trying to guess.
Good morning.
I'm trying to guess.
Good morning, Lena.
Good morning.
Oh, that was Lena. Thank you for helping out. I wasn't sure whether I knew it wasn't Corinne, but I wasn't sure. So thank you, Lena. All right, I'm looking at the list. Okay, so I'm going to take us into the site.
Hello, everyone. This is Ella.
That's Ella.
Yes, this is Ella.
See, I know. I know your voices, most of you. Anyways, from the videos, of course, right? Okay, so I don't know where you are right now in the course. I know where some of you are because you're working and I can see that you're
Keeping up.
keeping up. And I know those that are not
I'm
actually.
behind.
Right. So if you're behind, please contact me through the support, not through emails and not through the special email. It's really important that we keep it open because whatever questions or comments that you have will help others as well. So I like the transparency of comments. I think it's really, really important. And if you've got a support question or comments that are related to support that others can benefit from, throw them into the support because otherwise I move things to support. So let
Okay.
me start with you. You're going to go into the first step, which is to go into the search. So are you there now? Are you in the search? The search is over here. Okay, right here. The Moodle plugins directory, search.
Yes, I am there.
Is everybody there? Ella, you're there. That's great.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you?
I'm there.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. Okay, we've got a few accents here. Not accents, actually. It's from different countries, right? So it's not accent. Dialects. Okay, so that's good. And I see someone joined us, so welcome. I see from 7 and went up to 8, so that's great. All right, so let me go into the site. So let me stop this and go into, if I can find it. Right, you've added some links here, which is great. So where's the link to, I don't see it anymore. Who added the link to, yeah, there it is. Okay, Robin, you added that. Okay, let me go there now. Okay, so here we are. Okay, everybody should be here. Okay, and I'm going to pass it on to you. So start thinking of who wants to screen share. Okay, so add that in the chat. I think everybody has the right to screen share. All right, so that was you'll see. First thing you do, tell me what to do. First thing when I get here.
Set it into Moodle 5.
Perfect. Exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
move 5. That's
And notice what they put here first. They put certified integration. Now promote it. Now don't worry about this. All this says some of them are paid, yes, like Poodle English Central. There's a lot of money. It's for schools, not for individuals. And some are not. Okay. What they do is they promote themselves and they probably pay a little bit, but some are free. Some of these promotional ones like Kialo, which is completely free, they put down here as well. So it doesn't always mean that it's a paid one, but they are working on fixing the filters by having paid ones. They're still working on it. They've been working on it for a couple of months. Hopefully it'll work, but it works quite well. Next is to go into the kind of plugins. And notice activities that you can add here. Some of them are core, and I haven't added anything. So this is your chance to add sticky notes. What other ones do you want to add that you know that we've been using? Yes, go ahead.
I haven't seen the sticky notes. I'd like to see that.
Good. So you go into activities, yeah, and you add sticky notes.
Hello,
Yes.
Dr. Nelly. Please, can you share with us the link of the site?
Yeah, it's in the chat box, but maybe you came later, Corinne, so you missed it. So Robin or someone else can maybe copy it and add it again. Or I can do it. I can also do it. There we go. I think I did it. Let's see who, or somebody add it faster. Okay, Elizabeth, thank you. Great. So yeah, you add sticky notes and then you go into the search. Okay, sometimes it just, and it's not here because it's probably 2 words. Let's try it again because I know
Capital
it is.
S-T-I-C-K-L-Y, Stickly. Capital O-T-E-S.
What was that?
L.
Checklist. All right, so this is an example of what I said when I told you that technology is not perfect. Okay, it's not here. And you might have to search for it out of this. This is what I do, out of this. Okay, and just look for sticky notes and then it'll
Capital
appear.
N,
Who's talking?
N,
Is that,
N,
that's probably an AI
N.
interrupting us. Or is it someone else? Is someone using an accessibility, something or other on their phone or in the room? No?
No, but I just wanted
No.
to ask,
Yes,
how
go
do
ahead.
like once I click on it, I found it in the search.
Mhm.
How do you add it? I
Okay,
don't
good
understand.
question. All right, there it is. Where's sticky notes? Sticky secondary navigation. I don't see sticky notes for some reason. Okay, if you don't see it, this is what I do. I know that it's compatible, but if you don't see it, because this,
For me, I can't access. I have the sticky notes,
yeah, I think you added it. Yeah, I remember that. Thank you for adding that, Elizabeth. But if you don't find it this way, you can always go into Moodle 4.5 and then you'll have sticky notes. Now,
Uh-huh.
I
that's,
added the link to sticky notes in the
Yeah,
chat and
thank
I
you.
found it
Yeah.
through the search. So it is 2 words.
yeah, 2 words, but that didn't work for me either. So if it doesn't
Oh,
work for you, go into
interesting.
4.5 and then you go into sticky notes and then you check, notice what it says here. It says 4, which means that it's not compatible. Yeah, it's Elizabeth, I don't know if yours.
Oh, because I put it on version any. That's why I
Ah,
found it.
okay,
Okay.
yes. That's
I didn't
another
notice
trick.
that.
Yeah, but if you go into 4.5, the chances are that if it works, and it works for me, if it works, it will probably work as well for 4.5. It'll work for 5. But if you go into any, it's going to go into, earlier versions. So what I do, I don't know if you noticed this, I went into versions to see how far it went, and it went up to 4.5. So if you go into any, always go into versions to find out what was the latest version. If it's 4.5.
The funny
where's
thing is
any?
I had set it, but then it didn't
It doesn't say anywhere. Is the any?
at
Who's
the top.
asking? Ella,
So
are you
I
asking
think
now?
it's Lena. Lena, if you go
Alina's
into-
asking, sorry.
If you go
Yeah.
into where it has the Moodle version,
Yes, I
right?
see
That's the
version.
default.
You see the
Moodle
any?
version any.
Yeah, yeah, any. But I suggest you go into 5 or into 4.5
I
to be
had
able
set it
to.
at that and then it didn't like I clicked sticky notes and it didn't show me
It didn't
anything.
show
basically-
because,
But
yeah, because it does,
Basi-
it's not available for 5 yet. Even though it is working for 5, they might just do it, they'll have an upgrade and you'll be able to get the upgrade. But right now, it's still, they're still in shock, I think. Most of these developers, yes.
do we add to my favorites, or do we download when we want to add a plugin?
You can add it to your favorite. Yeah, you can add it to your favorite if you wish.
at
Yeah,
least
that's a
level
good
up.
way. Yeah, that's a good way.
But
All right,
will it work? Will it work?
Yes, it works. Now, it works because you've been using it, or you'll be using it this week. Okay, it's been working on integrating technology, which is 5. It works on all my sites. Okay, it's 5.
Okay.
So sometimes with this, I know it works, so there shouldn't be a problem. But with the others, another thing you can check, which I do as well, for example, with sticky notes, is that you go into it and then just to get information, you scroll down and you go into, you see it's 4.5 early bird. I don't know what happened to them, but you scroll all the way down to see if there's any information. You see, oh, it's me. Okay, so I asked, I guess, I don't know what I asked. Okay, there was a problem with 4.5. So I keep in touch and I provide them, and you will too, with information. If you need something to work, this is where I add it. So for example, I just released 4.5. And then I asked, will you be releasing a new version of Moodle 5? And I haven't read this, but I got a message in May. Hi, Nelly, hope to do this as fast as possible. I must first install a development environment. This is my principal problem. Okay, this is sharing there, they're very open. Okay, so I know that it's working. So what I could do here, if I'm logged in, which I'm not, okay, I would have to be logged in to be able to add comments. I would add, it's working so far, so that's a good thing. And you'll see that it works. If you go into the course, you'll see that it works. Where's our course? Can somebody add it in the chat? And I can just go there because I don't think I have it open. Or it is open here. Okay, so let me go into the course and show you what I mean. Okay, so we're talking about week 3, plugins and appearance. And there is the checklist that I mentioned, this assignment. But let's just make sure that I go in as the participant. Okay, in the checklist, you will have a chance to, because I've given you rights. Usually students don't have rights. You'll be able to add the plugins here with a URL and make sure that you open in the new window. But what I want to show you is the sticky notes. Okay, this is the sticky notes. And it works. Okay, this is what you will be doing. And I see someone has already started this. Great. And some people who are early. So what you do here, this is first come, first serve. Okay, so you access, this is where you decide what you want to install so that everyone gets a chance to install 5 plugins, and there are plenty of plugins. Okay, so you decide on 5 plugins based on the 5 categories. So you get 1 plugin for the activities. And I see someone's chosen checklist. And then the themes, someone has chosen, I don't think Fortson works, Nagwe. I don't know if you're here. I think you'll have to check to make sure that it's compatible with 5. I don't think it is. I think it hasn't been around for a while. And then the course formats, yes, 1 topic. And for the blocks, completion progress, wonderful. And for enrollment, I see you added enrollment application. So that's all by Nagwe. Okay, you'll be next and you'll be adding yours by going into, yes, go ahead.
Good.
By going into the plus. Okay, Lena? Or that was Ella?
Oh, that was me. I said
Yes,
this.
Ella. So Ella, you'll be going into, you'll go into the 5 and add 1 activity. You could add Poodle because I can add, if you're interested in any of the Poodle, even though it's paid, but I have the code, so I can add the code.
Okay.
Okay, so don't worry about it. Themes. Okay, so let's check Fortson. Can someone, I don't know if Nagwe, if you're here, can someone check Fortson to see what themes are available? We can go into Moodle.
I
Wait
do
a-
it. I do it now.
You're doing it? Okay, Corinne, thank you. That was Corinne, right? Correct me if I get the wrong name here.
Lena.
And you also have to be careful when you add this to your site that they're not paid. You really have to check to make sure when you go into any kind of, let's go back, any kind of plugins, make sure that it's not paid unless you're interested in paying, because you might be stuck. You'll install it and then you'll see, oh no, I have to add an API or I have to add something and I need to pay first. Well, then you
A
can
secret.
uninstall. Yeah, that's right.
So from here, we go into the install plugins from the Moodle plugins
Excuse
directory.
me, go into install, it's going to go straight into the website. If you go into the download, you download into your computer, and then I'll show you what you do. Okay, so let's go into the install.
I'm
Unless
going
you
to
want
install
to,
now. So this is your site. This is actually my site up here. So I'm going to install
and you
it
can
directly
change
into
the
your
name if
site.
you want about the site. You can go into edit and change the name if you like. Okay, that's
Do you want me to do
a
that?
process. But I don't think you
Oh,
need to
I'll wait
because
to
we've
that.
got the
No.
URL, so we know exactly.
We all
what
know
it
that
is.
it's yours.
Yeah.
So we're just going to install now.
Yep. That's how you
Okay.
do it. You've never done this before. And then you go into
Yes.
continue. You've done it probably the other way. Okay, now you check to make sure everything's okay here before you
Chain
cancel.
download.
It says
Okay.
okay,
Validating.
okay. You know that it's compatible. You go into continue. And then
So
you
then we
scroll
look down here and just to
down.
make sure that that's all
Yeah, it's okay.
okay.
I know it's okay. Yeah,
And then
okay.
continue.
But here it's too late already to do anything, so you can't. You don't go back, okay? By the way, folks, you don't go back. You go forward.
And then
Unless you
from
want to
here-
cancel here. There are a few stops where you can cancel because
Yep.
there's, something is wrong. But here you continue with the upgrade. And then
and it was
continue.
successful in
Yeah, that's
0.45
fine.
seconds.
Yeah, that's just their information. Here, accept the terms to enable Kyle a plugin to accept terms on behalf of users. And then here's a link. Yeah, you might want to accept terms of service, but you can check
Sure.
that later on. Yeah. They're
more than-
completely free. And they'll be speaking at the MMVC 25 in August. Now it's in. Now you go back into plugins. Okay, and then you go into
Plugins
Well-
overview.
no, you don't need that. No.
Ah.
No.
Where do you
don't
want me
need
to
it.
go?
Back into plugins. You always go back into plugins to get back to, that's the default, okay? And then now you can scroll down, okay, under plugins and see, and go into the activities, because you added an activity, so you know it's an activity, okay? And you see it here? You should see Kialo. Keep going, it goes by alphabetical order. Is it here? There it is,
There it is.
okay? Okay, now you go into a course. Have you developed a course yet?
Yes.
Great.
Hang
You
on.
should
I'll
have.
go into courses.
Now my courses, right, great. Okay, perfect. All right, so now you can go into edit mode at the top right, and then add activities. Because it's under activities, I see that you've added activities. Okay, and then you go into Kialo, it's under activities because, oh, there it's, okay, you can favor it. This is where you can favor, Lena, that was Elizabeth, okay?
Mhm.
And then you just add a name for it, whatever you want, chat, okay, that's fine. Okay, and then you go through, now you need to go into select discussion. If you go into the question mark, it'll give you explanation. Okay, now it'll take you somewhere else. Okay, Kialo. It's, I think it's pretty intuitive. And then you go into plus and you follow it. We're going to stop here, okay?
Okay.
You're going to do it later on. We're going to go
Mhm.
back into the plugins because I want to show you the second way. So how do you, wait,
Okay,
from here,
so
from here. You go, how do you go to the plugins? You go into site administration. It'll
Yep.
come with time. But if you don't remember, you ask ChatGPT, it'll remind you. Yeah, you're leaving because you haven't finished that. And you go back into plugins and you go into install, that's right, into install plugins. Now, the second
Oh,
way
going
is
from
if
here.
you save it on your computer and then you drag and drop where you were before. If you could just go
Mhm.
back a second. I don't know if everybody got that. Yeah, go
Sorry.
back. Over here, no, it's okay. Over here, if you've got it on your computer, you go into, you can drag and drop from your computer. That's the second way, but we're going to go back into install plugins. I prefer this one, but sometimes I have to remove them because there was something wrong. You also get email notifications every time they upgrade. And sometimes these need to be fixed by the developers. Okay, so right now we're going to add another one.
Okay.
Okay,
Look.
and notice you're under 5. You can check these out, but we're not going to do it. Do you have any questions, Robin, around here?
No.
Okay, so you
No.
can pass it on. Someone else can grab the, and we can have, you don't need to delete anything. You can stay here, let someone else, and then it'll stay up at the top there. So who's next? Who would like to screen share? Just grab the screen share because it's multiple. And we'll be able to see the tab at the top of Zoom.
So what are we screen sharing now?
Have you started?
No.
Okay, so
I'm
just grab
asking
the
what
screen
are,
share.
oh,
We're gonna
we're
go
gonna do
back.
the same thing again?
We're gonna go
I
back
have a
into the
question.
plugins
I have a
because
question.
now we're gonna add a theme. and we're going to check for Fordson.
I have a
Okay.
question.
Yes, Ella?
Is that Robin's personal website?
The one
Yes.
before, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, the one she used was ours, was Nick.
Was yours?
But she
Okay,
also has, but she also has her own listed there. You'll be listing yours there as well.
okay.
Okay, so who's this? Elizabeth?
It's me.
Okay,
believe
no, I
it's
see
me.
Lena. I see Lena. Oh, Lena's also screen sharing. That's great. So right now, I don't know who it is.
It's me, but I
It's
thought.
But
you?
I see myself.
Okay,
Yeah, me
that's
and
right.
Elizabeth-
But you
both
can
of
go
us
at the top. At the top, you'll see of Zoom. At the top, it'll say Lena. You can go into Lena now, and then we'll come back to you.
Let me see. How does this work? I don't know how this works. Now it's
Oh,
me.
you need to accept the policy. So you might want to let Elizabeth first do that in case an email pops
Yeah.
up.
I don't know what happened. I'm gonna stop sharing because
Yeah.
I don't.
No, you don't have to stop. That's the thing. You don't have to. You can still
Oh.
continue doing it. It's not recording, but that's okay. You can continue. So Elizabeth, you're going into 5, and now you're going to add. You wanted Poodle? Is that it? Or you
No,
want to
I
add,
wanted, you said you.
add a theme? Okay, so go
Right.
into theme. Mhm.
So themes,
Yes, themes.
and you wanted me to look for,
Now we don't have any themes, so whatever you decide, you want to move or these are the themes that are
I like
available for
move.
5. Okay. Yeah, me
So
too.
that would be choosing the theme for the whole
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
For the whole site, yeah.
Yes. Okay, now you go, no, come back up.
So that's 4
Because I know
themes,
it works. Now you're going to check the versions. Go into versions. I want to make sure that 503 because that's the latest. And I don't know if he's added it yet, but I'm using it. Or maybe I
Okay,
added
now I
it.
did.
Oh, 5, yes, he's
503.
added it.
So
Wonderful.
install now.
Yeah, that's the correct one. He's
And
added
I
it.
have the Moodles
Yay,
now.
it's there. You see, automatically. And yours is there too, Elizabeth.
Yeah, because I added it when I
Wonderful.
added the
Wonderful.
thing. So
Okay,
if you
go
have
into
a Moodle
install.
site, it automatically adds you
Mhm. That's right. And then install.
if it's legitimate.
Right. And I'm
Um,
sorry, I think I added it because I wanted to test it after he fixed it. Okay, sorry, Elizabeth.
Okay,
But you
so it
know
doesn't
what?
matter.
Go,
We can add
yes,
another
it
one.
does. No, I can show you how to uninstall. So go back. No, there's always, yeah, go back. Yes, back and back button on the
Here.
yes, exactly. Keep going. Okay, go into plugins. Click on plugins
Okay.
to get back.
Go into
Okay,
theme.
and now go into overview at the top. No, yes, overview. Now we'll need the overview because we want to delete. Now go down, quite down, all the way down, I think, almost all the way down. Yeah, because we're going to go into themes and themes at the bottom. It starts with activities and then it goes on to blocks. Okay, see, there's the tiny MCE. Let's
Text.
see. Look for themes. It should be happening a little more. Yeah, this
guess
is
I
kind
can
of
do this.
problematic because you can't search. Well, maybe you can.
You
but-
can.
Okay.
Command
good.
C,
Oh, you
C or
found it.
command
There it is.
whatever.
Yes. Okay. There
Is
it is.
this?
Now
So-
go. No, wait. Let's see what we're getting rid of here. Go into themes. No, that's not the
Theme
themes.
usage. So
No,
that's
no, no,
not
no,
it.
no, no.
But
No,
there's
if you had done that, if
There's
you had
8,
done
so
that, it would have been terrible. Okay, but
themes
add
here.
move. Yes. Now go into move.
And now
You don't
uninstall.
delete boost and you don't, well, classic you can, but you can't delete boost because that's the default. Yeah. Now you
Default,
click
yeah.
on uninstall
Mhm.
and then go
Confirm.
into continue. See,
So
I did
there
it from
are-
my computer because he didn't have it there yet. Continue. And then it goes through the whole thing. Okay, that's how
Right, because
uninstall.
it's at site level.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Continue. No, not there.
I can't
At the bottom.
continue.
Why not?
um,
It says continue.
Okay, the bar is in its way.
Oh,
There we go. The Zoom bar was over it,
okay.
so I couldn't
Sorry.
see it.
Mhm. And then upgrade Moodle database because you're upgrading the
Entire,
uninstallation
yeah.
of this theme. Continue, and you should be near the end. Okay, now you go back into plugins. You need to go into site administration. I see.
I am there.
No, you need to click on it again. Every time you want to get to anywhere, you need to click on the same place where you are. And then you go into, that's right. Okay, now install, because you're not going to do it from your computer. And then there, you know your way now.
5. Now I have the bar again. Don't know
Oh.
where to put this thing. Okay, 5.
But even if you write move and go into the versions, it'll give you the version.
And then, yeah. And I remember shortcuts. I never remember shortcuts. Themes. And now move.
And now you'll be the
now-
one installing it. Install at the top.
Right.
Unless you want to check what's going on, and you'll see my comments there.
Install here.
Yeah. No, it's 4.5. Oh, that doesn't matter because your system is, well, nobody's 4.5. I don't know why it says that. Okay, go into install.
This is a local thing I did once, and I
That's
don't know
okay.
why it's still here.
Or you can just
That
go
was a
into
long
delete.
time ago.
Yeah, you can delete
Install
it.
now.
Yeah. There's the delete, right? You can edit or delete and then continue. And then you'll go through the whole thing. Any questions while Elizabeth's doing this? Continue. You just keep going on with the. I love this part.
I just
Yes,
noticed
Nina?
that when Elizabeth was about to uninstall something, and you said something terrible would have happened. So we can't make terrible mistakes here. It's
What do you
scary.
mean something terrible would have happened? No, I
Like-
meant that if it's not right, then you go into the bottom to contact them. Oh, we'll do that again.
So nothing can break.
No, nothing can, well, it could, but I'll be there to fix it. It's okay. Nothing. That's when I troubleshoot when there's a problem, but there shouldn't be a problem. And if there is, I'll fix it. So,
In other words, if somebody breaks something, Nelly will fix
but you
it.
can't break. Yeah, I'm the fixer. But you can't break anything, really. Literally, you can't break anything, right? All you can do is install something that's not compatible. Either it'll work or it'll break other things. If
Okay.
it's not compatible, that's the only thing that can go wrong. And in that case, there are two things that you can do. One, you can get rid of it, of the plugin, if you know which one it is. And you should write down your plugins to know what was the last one. And then you simply uninstall it either at the Moodle level, or if that doesn't work, at the server level. And if you've got any questions and you're using Soul, you can always ask Brigitte and then he'll fix it.
He's
Right.
amazing. He has
He
been
is.
He is.
so
He's absolutely
fantastic.
amazing. I can't
Ah.
tell you how my life changed because of keep going down, unless you want to change the color. This is where you change the colors, but I think it's blue. And then you go into save. But you can do that
So
later.
this is where you change the Moodle colors, like on your
Yeah,
Moodle platform?
exactly.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Mhm. And then keep going.
So just, okay. I'm gonna save changes.
And then we'll see what we have. Now go back into home so you can see what we have now.
Doesn't look much different.
Exactly. It looks exactly the same. Why? Because we need to enable it. Right now it's boost. So you go back into site administration. That's what I'm going to show you now. Site administration. And then you go into appearance, not plugins. And then you go into themes yes. And then you go into, no, not there. No. That's not going to help you.
Select theme.
No, that's not the way. That's not how it
Ah.
works. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. You go into the gear, the settings.
So I have to go back.
Not there. No. It's right there in front of you. You go into the
Gear.
gear. No, not that gear, because that's for
This
classic.
gear.
That's one.
But
And
it
this
says
is,
current theme.
yeah, exactly. But this is where you make the changes. And this is what I want to show you. Keep going up. No, down then. If you're going up, then go, yeah. Okay, now we want to make changes here. Okay, so this is where you add the logo
Yeah.
at the top. Okay, not now. And
I
then
don't
keep
have one.
going. No, you will get one. And then you'll
Yeah,
add it. And then keep
Exactly.
going. Go down. And then this is where you add the favicon.
Favicon.
But, okay, great. But go back up and go into search, into the search, and go into logo, because I told you you're going to be working on the site logo. Loto is a good idea if we can make some money here. You have a good number for Lotos? Okay, now, okay, keep going, because we're looking for the logo. Now notice there are logos for the theme, but there's also a logos there, this one. This is where you're going to add for the site. Okay, site-wide. Okay, so you drag and drop a logo after you create it, then you go into the compact, and this is what I showed you before. This is not based on the themes. The themes have another logo. But notice at the bottom, with some of these themes, you get a lot of information that you may not want. Okay, look, no, keep going to the very, very, very bottom. Notice the contact us. I hate this. So I have, if you don't want all this information on your site, I have a way, a code that I will share with you to remove that. Now go back to the top. No, you are logged in as Elizabeth is nice, but go back to the top. Okay, you may not want a lot of this. So you go into appearance. Okay, and then you go into themes. And the gear again under move. And you go into advance. Now this is for any theme. You go into advance, and this is where you ask ChatGPT. Go back up a little bit, Elizabeth. This is where you ask ChatGPT what to add to the raw SCSS. Now don't worry about these terms. ChatGPT knows everything, but you can ask him what it means, and it'll tell you. So you go into the raw SCSS. You ask to remove the bottom for move. You'll say, I'm the admin of a Moodle 5 site. I'm using move as my theme, and I want to get rid of all the stuff at the bottom. What do I do?
Oh, wow.
And it'll give you a code. You'll
What's
add the
this-
code not to under raw, not to the H5P, but
Raw
under
initial
raw.
is yes,
Not
right
the
here.
initial, not the initial, but the raw.
Raw here.
Raw, yes. Now you don't have to remember any of these things, because every time you forget, you just go back to ChatGPT, and it's very, very patient. It'll just give you the information again and again and again, and it'll be fine.
And
So
you don't
won't
even
get
have to say
upset.
please.
what?
And I won't get
It-
upset. that
It'll,
you're
it'll be
asking too
kind
many
to you. It'll be
questions.
nice.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
it's amazing.
Yes.
So what are we
Oh,
doing here? We're adding what?
we're adding a theme. She
Yeah.
added move.
Basically.
Exactly.
Yes,
And you do it under appearance, not under the plugins.
but it
The
doesn't
plugins,
change much.
pardon?
Sorry?
It doesn't change very much. I find that move and boost is similar.
Home, and you'll see that they're not. You'll see the big difference. Now, what do you see? Okay.
I
Ne-
see the courses here in little
Okay.
boxes.
So you're going to go back to Boost, Elizabeth, but you're going to do it on your time because I have another session coming up in 1 minute. So we're going to end it here. And
Okay.
thank you.
Thank
Elizabeth
you
is
so
in
much.
Thank
charge
you.
of
Oh, thank you so
uninstalling and
much.
going back to Boost, because you're all going to go back to Boost. Okay,
Okay.
Elizabeth.
Thank you
So
so
it's under
much.
ask
Thank you.
questions and
I
enjoy the
will
week.
understand.